welcome back to my channel. If you are clicking for the first time, you're new here, allow me to give you a little bit of background on what is happening this morning. As a person with Crohn's disease, I experience a lot of intestinal symptoms, but those are kept under control by an intravenous medication that is administered by a specialized nurse at my home every 8 weeks. However, I still do experience other symptoms. They're called extraintestinal symptoms, such as joint pain, eczema. I live on a military base and it is PT hours, meaning physical training, and they block roads or lanes in the roads so soldiers can run or march on them. So there are different areas where normally you don't stop and they're stopping you so they can manage traffic. Anyway, as I was saying, sometimes I experience symptoms around my body that have nothing to do with my intestine, and I have to see different specialists for that. Sometimes they are new symptoms, so I have to get more tests done, and that's where I'm at right now. Yesterday, I went to my primary because my blood pressure has been dropping quite a bit, called hypotension. My blood pressure is normally 110/70, and it's been hovering around 80/60. The lowest has been 79/56. So today I'm heading over to a lab to do some new blood work I'm very unfamiliar with. My primary is testing my adrenal gland function. I have no idea what the test is called. She also ordered some other things. I'm not entirely sure. This is completely new for me. The interesting part about today is that even though I'm used to doing blood work fasting, meaning I haven't had anything to eat, this time I had to wake up relatively close to the time of the test. So I got up probably 10-15 minutes ago, got dressed and left because I'm not supposed to get the blood test done too far after I got up. That's all I really know about this blood work that she ordered. Again, it's new for me. So as soon as I learn more about it, I'll share more about it. Now that you're caught up, on to the rest of the day.
Number 9, ma'am.
That was so fast. I love it when they get it on the first try. I know I'm very difficult because I have small veins. I have a lot of scar tissue. My veins apparently curve. I know nothing about veins, but that's what they tell me. The nurses who come to my house, some of them even have vein finders that they use to stick me. This guy got it on the first try and I'm so happy. I'm not happy though that he got it on the right arm because my car is manual transmission. And it's gonna be a bit of a pain, but it's not the end of the world. And he didn't do it on purpose. They just have to use the vein that works, and it had to be on my right arm. Now I get to go home and start my day as I usually do. I'm in the car again, but I look better this time. Gave myself a little makeover before I left the house again. I'm on my way to the post office to mail out the catalogs that I prepared. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you know, past videos, just go back. I always show everything that I'm doing. On my way there, then I'll be back to continue with my morning routine. Quick small business tip here. I know there are a lot of services online that help you mail things for a few cents less, maybe $1 less, but this was way cheaper than I was calculating online. I sometimes buy my stamps and my postage on USPS.com, so I have a scale at home. I weigh things, input all the information, and then I'll print the label at home, put it on there, and just throw it in one of the blue boxes. But sometimes I use another shipping service, and I'll get postage for a little cheaper. Actually, going to the post office was way less. On the shipping service that I calculated, it was $3.60. Online on USPS.com, it was saying $1.40, I think it was. And I came here to the post office, it was 85 cents. 85 cents per catalog. So even though things nowadays are all pretty much online and we try to just not leave the house, or maybe we can't leave the house, sometimes I don't have the car, it could actually save you a pretty penny to actually go to the place where you need to go. I can't tell you how happy I am that when she said 85 cents, I went, what? Okay, time to go home and continue with chores and my other home business, which is preparing school material. I am trying my hardest to not flip out right now because I just got a call from my specialty pharmacy / infusion department. They're the ones who handle my prescription for my Crohn's medication that has to be refrigerated, shipped by mail to the house where it's going to be administered. I got a call from them saying that they weren't able to ship out my medication today because my authorization expired in January. I'm upset because I've been with these people since July 2018 and they were fantastic for the past year. Like they were always on it. They called me on time, they scheduled me on time. They knew what kind of nurse had to come to me because I live in a military base, so only certain nurses who have access to base can come here. And the past probably three infusions, there's always been some kind of pickle. The first one was that they forgot to schedule me. I was the one who called them and said, isn't my next infusion coming up? And they said, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna lie, I completely missed you. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Took care of me. I said, you know what, it's fine. Human error, people make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, it's fine. Like after an entire year not doing anything wrong, I did not care. The second infusion was kind of weird because there was a nurse mix-up. They scheduled a nurse who had no access to base. She didn't even know how permits worked to get on here. And she was asking me, she was asking her husband. Then she said, I'm gonna call you back. She's gonna talk to someone else. It was a weird afternoon. And my husband wasn't gonna be able to be with me that day. So I actually asked a friend to come to my infusion, and she made plans for that. And the following day or that same night or something like that, it was like super last minute, I got a call from another nurse saying, I'm the one who's scheduled to see you tomorrow. And I said, isn't this other person? She said, no, I'm the one who can go to you, so I'm gonna be there. Then I had to call my friend at the last minute and tell her, I'm so sorry to change your plans like this, but I have no control over this. My husband is gonna be able to come because somebody else is coming at a different time. I was a little troubled by that one. Now this third infusion, they called me right on time. They asked me all the right questions. They did not know that a nurse who had access to base was the one who had to come here. I reminded them of that. The point is, I got a call yesterday saying you're good to go for Monday. Now I got a call today saying it's going to be delayed until Friday because your authorization expired. And I noticed that now that I'm trying to mail out the medication to you. And I was so... I'm not someone who yells at other people. I don't insult or criticize other people. I get a little... psycho is the wrong word, but see how I'm smiling and I'm actually very angry? I'm the kind of person who kills with kindness. So I asked her, was there a recent change of administration or new personnel? She told me not administration, but yes, she was new a couple months ago, and she's taking over all the people on my medication, whatever. I said, oh, okay, I get it now, because there was a complication with the last infusion, and then the one before that, she apologized, and that was my way of letting her know, you guys are dropping the ball. Anywho, I did not find a copy of my most recent authorization in my file. I don't know if it's that it didn't come in the mail. I'm actually checking online right now with my health insurance to see if there is a more recent one, because here's the other thing. She called my doctor's office and he's away on vacation for a week. I don't blame him. People need to take a break. So hello, like doctors are not supposed to be there 365 days a year for you. I completely understand. Spring break is coming up. He's probably taking it early. So he's not there and she can't get the authorization signed obviously by anybody else, which is another reason why we have to wait for so long. Okay, yes, I knew I had seen it. I have an authorization here that says it's good until July 20th. I'm gonna call this person back now, slap her in the face with words, and tell her, schedule me back again for Monday, because I am not coming out of remission again. I'm peeved. I'm so peeved. Still smiling, not a good sign. I told the person I have a copy of the updated authorization, and she asked if I had a fax machine. I told her no, so I asked if she has a secure email. She gave me her email address, but she still said to send it by fax because it could speed things up. How is an email slower than a fax? Now I'm wasting my lunch hour, my preparation time, and everything else I have to do to try to get the authorization to this office so they can schedule me for the original time that was scheduled and not have to switch things around, because once again my husband can't be here for my infusion, so somebody else is coming here and I don't want to have to change their plans again. If you're in the military, then you might know these acronyms. If not, I'm just going to tell you what they are, but they might mean nothing to you still. ACS, Army Community Services, told me they don't have a fax machine. USO said they don't have a fax service. I thought it was even stranger that she told me they don't have a printer, because my husband and I have printed papers at that USO. I was told to try the library, but the library doesn't pick up the phone, and I'm not going to drive around. I'm not going to waste gas and time going from building to building asking, do you have a fax machine? My last resort was to contact the office that deals with family members who have certain medical needs, and the phone is busy. So I'm thinking about going straight there to tell them in person this is happening, and see if either they do have a fax that they're just not sharing with the public openly, or they can take me somewhere where they know there is a fax machine. I'm going to skip lunch and go straight to that office I'm telling you about. If they can't solve this issue, then I guess I'll just have to wait for that extra week. But I've only been in remission 10 days, and I don't want this to affect anything and just send me back into relapse. So I'm so annoyed.
I'm going to try this name. I'm going to try, and it's going to be wrong.
Can you hear the rain? Yeah, it rained. But thankfully, my husband got me an umbrella that fit in my purse. Thank you, honey. Okay, I went to something called EFMP, Exceptional Family Member Program. These are the people who, I think I already mentioned, work with family members with medical needs. And I told them what my situation was, how everybody's saying they don't have a fax machine, which I know is complete BS. It's BS because guess what? She sent the fax. I'm gonna call my specialty pharmacy now, see if they received the fax. It shouldn't be this way, but I guess you don't choose how things happen to you. Now it's off to the house to make some lunch and continue everything else I was doing before my first class at 3. Do you hear the rain? That's what caught me on my way out of the building. Fortunately, I had my umbrella, but wow, it's starting to come down. Anywho, my dog is inspecting me. She always smells when I go somewhere different. I'm gonna have some lunch, and I'm gonna have it calmly, as opposed to always when I just have a quick lunch, because I'm so wired. I'm still not in a happy place yet, but I will get there, especially because I'm gonna work with a 5-year-old in 2 hours, and then a 7-year-old in the following hour. I will probably see you all after the tutoring session around 6-ish. I don't even know where to get started. Let's start by this. I got back from my class and the tutoring session. Everything went fine, all good. I have lovely children. I love them very much. They make me happy. I get home. First thing that happens is I remove my menstrual cup just to give my area some breathing space, because for me, I already told you, intestinally, it's very uncomfortable. The cup itself, when it comes to bladder and uterus and everything else, it's just fine. It doesn't bug me at all. But I'm having some bloating and other intestinal issues, so I removed it and I give myself a break. 5 minutes later, I see my dog eating it on her bed. I kid you not. She ate it. She ate the stem. She ate it. So I mentioned yesterday or before yesterday that the menstrual cup has about a 10-year shelf life. This one lasted 10 months. It is not dog proof, people. Don't even ask me how she got a hold of it because I left it on my sink in the bathroom. Suffice it to say that she got what was coming to her without pity or mercy. And she is actually still just right behind me. I did not abuse my dog. I was just firm with her. I had a firm hand and I closed her up in the laundry room for about an hour. And then I let her go and she ate her dinner, nice and normal. It's actually my husband who's telling me to not make eye contact with her and not coddle her and start doing baby talk with her because I love her. I told him, you know what, when we're parents, I'm gonna be the kind of parent who, if I have to spank my child, I'm gonna cry afterwards. And he's gonna be the firm one trying to keep everything as disciplined as possible because I have a very soft heart. But while she was in her time out in the laundry room, I placed another menstrual cup on Amazon. Should be here in about 2 days. I guess I'll just need it for next month. After everything that's happened today, I do not feel like cooking, so I made myself a sandwich. This is uncured turkey, cheddar cheese, avocado on potato bread, and I'm gonna have some nuts and fruits on the side with some water. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm just gonna call it a day. Probably gonna do my nails or something. I don't know, just something that'll make me happy. And tomorrow I will be nice and refreshed with a very happy heart. So I'm gonna say my good nights now while I'm still smiling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video, my channel, my story. I also have my Instagram in the description box below, so feel free to check that out as well. Share with others, and I will see you all tomorrow.